Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to Decoding Business Growth Season 3. I'm your host A.B. Ravi. Technology is rapidly changing our lives and all of us are experiencing it on a daily basis. Take for instance the classified ads. Once upon a time, we solely depended on the mainline dailies like the Times of India, Hindustan Times or the Hindu to insert classified ads of matrimony or car purchase or scroll through the classified pages to find a job. Then came the era of yellow pages. This was followed by the dot-com boom, which gave rise to a new class of business in the online space. Today, there is a specialized online classified platform which helps you find a job, a house, car, or for that matter, even a driver or maid. All this through your smartphone. This Bangalore-based company, founded by Pranay Chulet, seems to have hit the right chord. In less than a decade of operation, Quikr emerged as India's #1 online classified platform. In every sense, keeping up with its name, Quikr. Take a look at Quikr's story. You too will know how to Indianize some of the successful global models and become a successful entrepreneur.
Typically, this is what most of us did. Walk in and out of several mobile phone shops to strike a good bargain for your old mobile. Talk to half a dozen garage owners to sell your old car or two-wheeler. Bargain with a couple of scrap dealers to sell your old furniture. And if these approaches were not yielding the desired results, we inserted classified advertisements in the mainline dailies. But with technology changing our lives rapidly, all these approaches have become passé. Now, all these buy-sell actions can be done with a few taps on your smartphone thanks to the Bengaluru-based Quikr, the country's #1 online classified platform. Founded by Pranay Chulet in 2008, Quikr has created an online marketplace where buyer and sellers connect to transact for old household or office items, vehicles, mobile phones or almost anything. The platform helps the seller to realize a better price, whereas it enables the buyer to find quality products at a good discount, a win-win for both. This C2C player has segmented its portal into 5 verticals. They are Quikr Bazaar, under which mobiles, electronic appliances are listed. Quikr Cars for cars and bikes. Quikr Easy has offerings like salon at home, packers and movers, and home appliances repair. Under Quikr Jobs vertical, it has listings for blue-collar and entry-level white-collar jobs, whereas in the Quikr Home segment, listings are available for both rentals and outright purchase. All these options are available in 1,200 plus cities in the country. Currently, Quikr, which has over 42 lakh listings, adds 15 lakh new listings every month. Quikr Bazaar is #1 in the customer-to-customer market by revenue and payments. Quikr Jobs is again #1 for blue-collar and entry-level white-collar jobs platform in the country with a database of over 1 crore candidates spread across 500 plus job roles. Not only this, the portal registers some 3 crore unique visitors. So what made the 44-year-old Pranay Chulet enter this space? Born into a typical middle-class Marwari family, Pranay has always been a cut above the rest from his school days. For instance, he was the first student from his school, Kendriya Vidyalaya in Dariba in Rajasthan, to appear and clear the IIT entrance exam. After completing chemical engineering from IIT Delhi, Pranay did his MBA from IIM Calcutta in 1996 with a gold medal. Soon after, he moved to New York to join P&G. In 1997, he quit P&G and joined Mitchell Madison Group to advise clients in media and finance industries. Besides, he also managed to work with digital and consultancy firms like Walker Digital, PwC, and Booz Allen Hamilton before returning to India.
I think the confidence was always there, but I think the stars aligned around 2008 for me. I basically had spent a few years in management consulting and advised a lot of large media companies on how to scale up internet businesses. And after that, I was beginning to get restless, so I took 6 months off to actually shoot a movie in New York, and all the editing for that indie movie I was doing in India. So that's when I started spending actually meaningful time in India after a number of years, and I saw that the country had changed, and that's when this idea of returning back to homeland and doing something started intriguing me.
In the US, Pranay was fascinated with the Craigslist phenomena and its growing impact. He felt that if Craigslist could become a dominant local classified portal in the US, then a similar model could work in India. With this thought, Pranay teamed up with his former colleague Jibby Thomas to start Quikr in 2008.
We started in 2008. It was me and my friend Jibby Thomas with a small team of 15 people initially. When we started, and our first office was in Marol in Sakinaka, which I always think is India's answers to Venice when it comes to rains. Marol has these water-filled roads. So it was a small, about 1,500 square feet office. It was a small team. Our first few listings and responses came more in the C2C area. Over time, the platform started getting used in multiple categories.
Like most startups, the beginning was modest and slow. The company also started investing heavily into marketing with an intention to reach out to those who are not using digital classifieds. In fact, it even started one of its kind missed call services where people needed to give them a missed call and they would call back and help them with whatever they wanted to buy or sell. And in the next few years, not only did the company grow at a breezy pace, but also transformed itself into a generic brand in terms of classifieds. Quikr also reinvented itself by moving away from the horizontal classified model and brought verticals into its offerings. Also, the company moved its ways from Mumbai to Bengaluru in search of better talent.
Innovation and how do we get in front of the customers and provide the value has been one of the reasons, one of the main reasons as to how we have reinvented ourselves. Earlier it was like a Quikr.com, and people who were either searching for homes and cars, etc., they were pretty much getting the same experience. But now with the verticalization strategy, somebody coming for homes on our horizontal platform will have a different look and feel, different user experience as compared to somebody who's trying to come and look for a car or a bike, and similarly services, etc.
The company also started getting deeper into transactions and offered services like certified mobiles, car and bikes to assure the price-conscious buyer about the quality of the product. On the other hand, their new service Quikr Doorstep is revolutionizing consumer-to-consumer buying and selling in India. It brings the convenience of e-commerce to pre-owned goods by facilitating price negotiations, payment, pickup and delivery, making it the first and only platform to complete all steps of the transaction online across the country. With all these efforts, the company delivered a robust revenue model.
Overall, as a company, we make revenue from transactions, most importantly, which is charging commissions on sales or other transactions like jobs and so on. Then lead generation is another one where we provide leads to businesses that are looking for customers with the permission of those customers. And then you have premium listings, and then you have advertising also. So it's a combination of things, but in some businesses like our Quikr Bazaar business, commission is the most important part of our revenue. In some other cases, for instance, real estate, lead generation is, as of today, a more important part of our revenue.
Today, the company derives 28% of its revenues from Quikr Homes, 22% from Quikr Cars, 16% from Quikr Bazaar, 14% each from Quikr Jobs and Quikr Services, and the balance 6% is contributed from other verticals. On that note, it's time for a short commercial break. At the other end of the break, CNBC TV18's AB Ravi talks to Rahul Tiwari of ICICI Securities to get an investment banker's perspective on the company. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Over the past few years, Quikr has been growing at an impressive pace. The company's revenue has doubled last year and it's growing at a similar pace this year. To decipher what is helping the company to grow at this pace, CNBC TV18's AB Ravi caught up with Rahul Tiwari of ICICI Securities. This is what he has to say. Take a look.
Rahul, welcome to the show. Rahul, if I may begin by asking you, the e-commerce sector has been doing well, though not all are profitable. But within this space, how do you see a company like Quikr, which is largely into C2C?
So let me talk about the macro space. I think one space which has been disrupted by internet the most is print classified. And that's an area where there's been a massive shift into the online and the mobile channels. And Quikr has been a trailblazer when it comes to just converting this traffic into their platform. And that's where they have the scale. They also have been able to verticalize their services. So they have, in some ways, moved away from the C2C business platform that they had initially, and now they have various legs to their growth story. So also I want to make the differentiation that as compared to other e-commerce players, where the traffic acquisition is driven by incentives and discounts, here is a company that clearly has an online brand that pulls in the traffic. Okay. And most of the traffic that is coming in today is organic in nature. So I think it's a very nice space that they have crafted for themselves, and they are the market leader in that space currently.
So they do have competition, but is there edge because they have 5 to 6 verticals and they keep reinventing themselves? What is it?
So I think that's where you have to credit Pranay Cholet and the management team in terms of coming up with a hybrid model. So when I say hybrid, they still have the horizontal breadth, which gives them the network impact. So a lot of traffic coming in is great because there are 180 categories, people can come in, and the customer engagement is very intense. Okay. But I think the vertical strategy works in terms of accelerating the path towards profitability, which is also very important for the sustainability of the franchise.
So is it an SBU approach you're having? Strategic business unit, kind of each vertical will make profit?
I think that's a great observation because I think these are these startups within a larger umbrella, which keeps the company very nimble and gives a sense of dynamism. So these are significant verticals within the company, all scaling up very nicely, and kind of gives you that the entire breadth of services, but lets you innovate and customize the services within that particular vertical.
So the other thing I noticed is they're also getting very aggressive on the acquisition space. They've done some 10 acquisitions in the last 2 years. So are we seeing they're moving to the next growth phase level now?
So I think growth will come...
or is it a part of this industry that you need to consolidate and acquire and grow?
So consolidation is the name of the game. And I think there's a long inventory of companies that got set up over the last 4 or 5 years. And not everyone can scale. Or they look for a bigger ecosystem where they can transplant themselves and grow faster. And I think Quikr has been that platform which can integrate other companies and help them grow faster. Okay. So if you look today, more than half of their revenue has come from inorganic acquisitions. Okay. And I think this will continue. I think this is the name of the game in the industry.
Most of the e-commerce players are not profitable. Now Quikr is going to break even. So do you see them entering the profit list soon? And eventually I see them getting listed also?
So one observation I have is, as compared to some of the other internet companies, the heavy lifting has already been done. Okay. The company has already invested in brand building, in generating the traffic on its platform. And where it is focused now is monetization of that traffic. And the gap between, between the revenue and the cost is narrowing. And I think, very soon, it will be profitable. And the other beauty about the model is the operating leverage. Once you have this traffic coming in, monetization happening without you spending a lot of money on customer acquisition, this becomes a hugely profitable model. We have seen such models in let's say the job portal space or the matrimonial space, where companies have scaled up, become profitable, and listed on the Indian market. So I think this is, I would say, this would be a faster kind of trajectory ahead of what we have seen in the past, because the macro trends are very favorable.
So this brings to me the question: there is an online e-commerce company, it's not listed. So if at all they were to go for listing, should they go for NASDAQ listing, or they should list on the Indian stock exchanges?
So a very interesting question you're asking. My take on that is that if you look at the Sensex, the constituents of the Sensex have changed over the last 20, 30 years, and they'll keep on changing. It's the changing business environment. So I think I was reading somewhere in 1992, only 2 companies survive out of the BSE Sensex. And I think that will continue to change. And I think the known unknown today is the internet space. And there will be trailblazers like Quikr that I hope will become the constituents of BSE Sensex in the years to come. And I think the Indian market is open, looking for such differentiated stories.
So you're really optimistic on Quikr?
I'm very optimistic because the shareholder wealth has been created by top line growth more than just profitability. And I think that's where the investors would like the story a lot.
So we need to watch this company.
Of course.
Yeah. Rahul, very well put. Thanks a lot for being on the show. Thank you very much.
Well, that was Rahul Tiwari's take on how Quikr has become synonymous for the online classifieds portal. On that note, it's time for another short break. On the other side, we take a look at the road ahead for the company. Welcome back. Quikr's unique visitors graph started going up rapidly. This traction attracted private equity players' interests. Today, players like Tiger Global Management, Kinnevik, Warburg Pincus, Matrix Partners India, Norwest Venture Partners, Nokia Growth Partners, Steadview Capital, Omidyar Network, etc. have jointly invested $350 million in the company.
Quikr has just an amazing product and innovation engine. They have built one of the best products for the Indian industry. It's very, very simple to use. Consumers flock to it. And I think that what we found was that across cars, real estate, rent, services, jobs, everything, people come for different things. At the same time, they come across categories as well. So they've also had these products like Quikr Doorstep, Quikr Chat, SMS, missed call, alerts, etc., which have been innovative and pioneering for the entire industry.
With adequate funding from private equity players, the company is on an acquisition spree. In the past 2 years, the company has acquired 10 companies, which include the likes of Zimber, Grabhouse, Stepney.com, Zaplook, Hiree, Salosa, amongst others.
Our acquisitions have always, we've done it always with the thought of furthering a business that we already are in. None of these acquisitions were done with the idea of getting into a new business per se. For example, in real estate or in services or in jobs, we've always looked at acquiring like-minded companies which are going to help us scale our business faster. In some cases, it might be something special in a given business that we did not have, but for most part, it was to extend our verticals further. So the synergies were basically, they were more on the side of gaining market share faster because, 1 and 1 can sometimes make 11 and it takes you longer to get to 11 by yourself.
With Quikr being built out of verticals, scaling through acquisitions and an army of 2,500 employees, Pranay is now looking to tap visitors through cross-selling.
We would, we would most definitely be doing revenue that runs into hundreds of millions of dollars and multiple hundreds. We should be much deeper in our transaction revenue streams in various areas. I think chances are we'll also be in the middle of transactions in real estate pretty soon, and that will also scale up given the way the industry is going. Our goal is to become profitable in 6 to 7 quarters from now. So, and I think we'll get there. We have the right strategy in place. The business is doing well. There's a lot more work to be done.
With the job vertical reporting profits, the company is looking at each vertical as a strategic business unit. Each unit, going by Pranay's vision, will have to become profitable. Already, one is seeing results. After a 9-year run, the company is all set to break even soon. In other words, one can see Quikr profit.
Well, Quikr's frenzied acquisition in the past 2 years give a clear indication of the road ahead for the trailblazer. What impresses me about Pranay is that he has been constantly reinventing himself and is intensely focused on his business. And that's paying him rich dividends. On that note, it is time to say goodbye. See you next week with another interesting episode. Till then, keep watching CNBC TV18.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.